What's up, YouTube? It's Kenny again. Yeah, I know I've been gone for a while, guys, but you've seen what the stock market's been doing. It's just been ridiculous, all right? So I've just been holding everything. A lot of stuff has happened since the last video I made, so this will probably be a long video. We'll start with my thoughts on the stock market and what I've been doing, where I'm at, and then I'll talk about everything that's gone on over the last few months. So first of all, I am not a financial advisor. I'm just a truck driver driving across the country researching and trading stocks, and I will not be held responsible for any moves you make in the stock market. Not ever. I am not your mama. Do your own research. I will not be held responsible. All right. So obviously the market is just in a frenzy, bear market, just still tanking and tanking and tanking. So what have I done? All right. So I think the last video I made, I told you guys that I made some moves and made a little small profit in this and that and stuff. Since then, I have increased, averaged down and increased my position in OEG from, I don't know, I think I was around 2,300 shares. Now I'm at 3,000 shares. My cost basis is about 250, so I'm way down. I'm way down on everything right now, guys, okay, in the Roth. All right, Tesla, I got 2 shares in the Roth, and my cost basis is about 850, so way down on that. PayPal, I'm still at 20 shares. I haven't been able to average down yet in that. I'm still at about 200, so way down in that. I'm way down in everything in the Roth, all right? But I have not sold anything. I'm averaging down positions because this shit that's going on is not going to last, okay? I mean, it's going to last a while, but it's not going to last forever. And I'm taking this opportunity to try to average these positions down, get into a position to where when the market comes back in 6, 8 months, a year, I'm going to be sitting pretty because I'm going to have really low cost bases. I mean, not as low as if I had bought today, but that's just what it is. You know what I mean? So that's where I'm at. I have averaged down a little bit in the YouTube account. I can't remember how much it was. I bought a while back. I bought a pretty significant buy, like $600-800 in there to get some averaging down going on. And in the cash account, I was sitting on cash for a really long time. Bought some charge point around 13 something. Bought 2 shares of Tesla. My average is around 870, something like that. So it's significantly down. Bought Bitcoin at around 30,000. What else do I have in there? Charge point, Tesla. Anyway, so I'm down in the cash account too, not nearly as much as the Roth, but so I would have been averaging down even more. Okay, now first of all, before we talk about that, let's talk about my thoughts on what's going on in the market. So it was quite some time ago that I made a video talking about, or I made mention of the fact that I thought that all these big high-flying companies were going to eventually get pulled down, and that's where we're at right now. Is that now we've got all these big high flyers like Amazon, Facebook, Google, etc. that are falling now, and big retail stuff like Target, Walmart, which I own some Target I believe in the YouTube account, or maybe it's in the second Roth that's in M1 Finance. But these high flyers and things that have been continuing to go up are now falling. So in my opinion, what we've got is you've had the retail stocks and higher risk stocks that were hit real hard forever, and now we're in this last part where now the higher stuff's coming down, and so we're coming up on a bottom. Okay, now I'm saying that things could continue to go down, but overall, like, we're getting a lot closer to being at a point to where you just can't keep going down. You know what I mean? I mean, we're already at the point where a lot of these retail stocks and stuff are just like, I mean, they can't really go down a lot more. I mean, they could, but it's unlikely that they're going to have any big old drops, because these stocks have already been hit 100%, etc. You know, like 80%, 90%, and now we're seeing all these high flyers come down. Institutional buyers are fucking running, you know. So it's only a matter of time, and I know I've been saying this, but it's still my thought process and my belief that it's only a matter of time until everybody says, wait a minute, you know, like, we can't continue this, and these things are so low, we got to start buying. And there's possibilities that the Fed is going to overreact. Okay, I think that a lot of the stuff that's been priced in at this point, like the Fed, I have a feeling the Fed might change their mind and not do as much as everybody thinks they're going to do, and then set us up for a rally in Q3, Q4, you know, toward the end of the year, set us up for a big rally when everybody figures out that interest rates are not going to quite go up as much as they might expect, and that the Fed might do a U-turn a little bit. Because the thing is, if the Fed overreacts, okay, and this is kind of a Cathie Wood type thought process that Cathie Wood has been saying for a while, that she sees massive deflation coming, that she thinks that a lot of these supply chains, that everybody's going to make all these adjustments, and then the floodgates are going to open and these supply chains are going to start flooding back in, and everybody is going to have made huge orders because they couldn't get their stuff, and all of a sudden they're sitting on all this fucking product, and nobody's fucking buying, because now the economy's fucking up to the point that, you know, they're saying, we're seeing it in our industry, you know, it's starting to slow down, freight's slowing down, and I talked to my dispatcher about that the other day, and he was like, they're all kind of scratching their heads trying to figure out what's going on, and I was like, I can tell you what's going on. You know, what's going on is all of these retailers have ordered all of this shit and over ordered because they couldn't get their stuff, and so they were trying to make these huge orders so that they could compensate for the fact that the shipping is slow. And then all these orders are starting to come in, but now the buying patterns are shifting, and so they're sitting, like I run for Kraft, okay, so Target came out, and it was either Target or Walmart in their earnings, which they dropped heavily, and crappy earnings, crappy guidance, came out and basically said that buying habits are changing, and that, like, people are buying more like store brands and stuff like that, instead of buying the Kraft macaroni and cheese or the Kraft barbecue sauce, they're buying the Walmart brand macaroni and cheese and the Walmart brand. So, you know, like, all these orders, like, they've ordered all this stuff based on all these buying habits, and now things are starting to change, and we're having this shift because now the common people are starting to feel the economic shift and are starting to change the way they're buying things. And so, like, I feel like we're on this precipice where the Fed is potentially going to, or maybe already has, overreacted. They're going to see inflation start to come down, and the Fed go, oh shit, maybe we raised interest rates too far, and we could see a big ass rally in the stock market when the Fed U-turns and says, oh, wait a minute, you know, we're not going to do everything that you guys think we're going to do. Like, you know, I feel a rally coming within the next 6-8 months. You know, real estate, I feel like real estate, I've been saying this, I don't know if I've talked about it on video, but I've been saying it to people for a long time, that all this shit that's going on in real estate with houses being fucking sky high and everything, that shit's going to stop. You know, it's going to, that bubble is going to pop. And people are like, no, it's a good time to buy a house. And okay, whatever, you know. And real estate's going to be coming down too, okay. You know, everybody says that real estate typically trails the stock market by a year or so, you know. So it's only a matter of time before that bubble pops. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to dump money into stuff. But here's the thing. Now we're going to shift and talk about what's going on with me personally, okay. So my kid had moved to Washington, with her girlfriend. Okay, and after being there for, I don't know, close to a year, she was up there with her girlfriend and her family. They moved from Texas up there, and that blew up. I knew that was going to eventually happen, but it finally blew up. And because of the problem of her not having an ID when she went up there, because the pandemic had it to where appointments to get the ID were like 6 months out and stuff, and it was really difficult. And she had just turned 18, really, you know. And so she was up there without an ID, and because of that, I couldn't put it on an airplane. I did figure out that I could get her on a bus, but it was like some 5-day bus trip or some shit to try to get her back to Texas. So what I ended up doing, and this was rough, guys, I was in Chicago when it happened. I parked the truck. I flew to Washington. Okay, the initial idea was that I was going to rent a car, pick her and her little bit of stuff up, and drive back to Chicago. But come to find out, I could not get a rental car with a debit card to do that. I could have got one to run around town, but not to drop off in and drive 2,200 miles back to Chicago. So I ended up, instead of a $900 rental car, I ended up having to get a $1,900 U-Haul that only got 15 miles to the gallon. So that was about $3,000 it cost me just for that part, plus the airplane ticket, plus food and hotels and stuff. And then we got back to the truck. This is about a 5-day process. Lost money on that deal, you know, on the not being driving. And then she was on the truck for, I don't know, a week and a half. So that was expensive too, feeding 2 people, etc. All in all, I ended up spending about $5,000 on this rescue mission. All right, so that was basically my whole bankroll, and I've still been catching up until just now. I'm starting to, today I felt comfortable enough to throw some money into the Roth. All right, and it's been a nightmare. You know, it set me back on my teeth, which my whole plan has changed on my teeth. I've found a place now that is a lot cheaper to get the rest of them pulled and get the dentures, and so I'm going to save and get that done. It's going to cost me about $4 or $5,000, and I'm just going to get it all done. I'm sick of fucking with it. I'm sick of looking like Cletus. So I mean, it's going to still be a little bit until I can save that. And what it does is it's put me in this position where, like, I don't have this big wad of cash that I had before that I was saving up to dump into the stock market around when all this shit right now is going on. And so I would like to dump $4,000 or $5,000 in the stock market right now, but I don't have it, you know, because of all that. So also, I got a little bit of donations from my people that helped out a lot and helped me from going completely broke on that rescue mission. But it's still, you know, obviously, I mean, it wasn't enough to cover it in any way, shape, or form. So, yeah, that set me way back, guys, all right? So, at this point, I'm kind of playing a balancing act. I need to have some cash saved, so I'm working on that. And at the same time, I need to have a fund going for my teeth. And I need to be dumping money in the stock market, because any time it could just rally. You know, it could just rally and we never see these prices again. I'm not saying that I think that that's about to happen right now. I think I've still got a little bit of time to average these down, but that's just a fucking guess. You know, the stock market could fucking go ballistic. Next week, the Fed could come out and say something and the stock market could just fucking go ballistic. So I'm hoping that I have a little more time to average my PayPal down. I'm going to stick with OEG where I'm at, 3,000 shares at $250. I feel like that's a good thing, man. The OEG's earnings came out, and although they missed expectations on some stuff, you know what I mean, they had a positive EBITDA, which was not expected. You know, I mean, I'm telling you, this company is about to turn to positive earnings. You know, they were damn near there I mean, pretty much there. The EBITDA was positive. Barely, but it was positive. And they're expecting it to be negative. So, like, OEG, like, I know people have given me a hard time about buying into this stock, but it is the one that I feel like I could be dumping a bunch of money in, and that it's going to really pay off in the next year. So I'm going to hold it where I've got it, 3,000 shares most likely, because I've got other stuff that I need to average down. I need to get this PayPal average down some more. Man, if I could just have the cash to buy 20 more shares and average it down, it's going to pay off in a year. Tesla, same thing. With Tesla being as low as it is, if I could get that average down in the 700s somewhere, so that's what I'm working on. I'm going to be working on getting my Roth going. Okay, now I don't know if I talked about this or not, but I own part of a house in Mississippi. I'm in the process of working on, I've already got it all agreed upon and figured out to sign my mother and my sister's portions over to me, which will give me 1/3 ownership in that house. And I have every right to move in there at any time I want. My name is on the deed already, but I'm trying to accumulate more ownership in that, and that is going to be my eventual retirement plan. It's on the Gulf Coast in Mississippi, about less than a mile from the beach, far enough away to where you don't get the brunt of the hurricanes, but close enough that if you wanted to, you could ride a bike to the beach, no problem. And it's a little 3-bedroom house. It's nothing special or anything, but it's a place to retire, a place to die eventually. My aunt lives there right now. Her name's on the deed as well. She's in her 60s, and we've had phone conversations about it. And as far as she's concerned, at least what she says, I can move in there whenever I want, right now if I wanted to. So that gives me a lot of peace of mind, knowing that that I have a place now that if something was to happen and I couldn't do this anymore, I have a place to go. That takes a big weight off my shoulders, allows me to focus in more on building the Roth and building for retirement, rather than focusing in on buying land or a home or something like that. So that's a positive thing. Also got a brand new truck. 2.5 weeks ago, got a brand new 2022 Kenworth T680 Next Gen. It's Sab Flab. I don't know if I can't really see if you can see it or not, but it's got a digital display on the dash, and it's getting killer fuel mileage. It's really cool looking on the outside. I mean, it's a fantastic truck. I'm super happy with it. So I'm in a brand new truck. It had 1,000 miles on it when I got it. I've put 7,000 miles on it already. So I'm happy about that. Getting caught back up. Like I said, I just put $1,000 into the Roth IRA today, and bought a share of Tesla. I brought my OEG the rest of the way up to 3,000 shares, and that's where I'm at. Okay, so now for the next month, I'll be out here stacking money, deciding what to do with it. Some of it I'll put in savings, some of it I may put some more in the stock market. But with everything that's happened over this last month or so, like, I'm going to be stacking some so that when I go back into town, I'm going to do something. I'm going to get an Airbnb and just relax for a week, or something to just decompress and come back out fresh. Probably going to do that the last month in June, so that I finish out the quarter the way I want to and start fresh on the next quarter, because we have certain bonuses, and the way it works is there's 3 different categories, and if you hit all 3 of the categories, then you get so for each one of those categories, you get an extra penny per mile for each mile you ran in that quarter. So I usually run about 30,000 miles in a quarter. So for each one of those, it's about $300 bonus. Okay, but if you get all 3, then you get a 4th one. Okay, so I've been hitting 2 every quarter since I've worked here, but I have not been able to hit that fuel bonus and get those last 2 pennies. So every quarter I get about a $600 bonus. Okay, well, this new truck's fuel mileage is banging fuel mileage. So I'm finna hit that. Even having driven that other truck for the first like 3 or 4 weeks, like I'm already number 3 in fuel mileage. So I'm going to hit that, and if I can, I'm short on miles because of everything that's happened, and I took time off, and then I had the rescue mission, and then I had to switch trucks. So I may not hit it this quarter, but I have a feeling that from here on out, I'm probably going to get that full like $1,200 bonus every quarter. So that's fantastic. The new truck is great. It's more or less the same on the inside. You know, the outside looks cool. It looks a little different. There's a few differences, but overall it's the same. It's just brand new. And that's where I'm at, guys. No promises on when I'll make another video. I was just feeling it. I had a little whiskey. Kind of in a place right now where I was able to put some money into the stock market again today, and you know, I feel like I'm starting to get caught back up after all this bullshit that's happened over the last month and a half. So yeah, I thought I'd make a video and catch up with you guys, let you know what's going on. And thanks for watching. Thanks for sticking around. Thanks for not unsubscribing. I'm not going anywhere. I'm still investing. I haven't sold out of all my stuff or no crazy shit like that. I'm still here. And I'm going to be here. And I think that right now is a really good time to make money. I mean, you're not going to make the money right away, but right now is a really good time to be averaging down, adding to positions, starting new positions, because in a year, like, shit's going to change. Thanks for watching, guys.